Hi, and welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I'm so glad you joined me in the treehouse today. Today, it's getting close to Father's Day while I'm filming this, just a couple weeks out. So I thought I would make a Father's Day card using the Trusty Tools stamp set and dies. And I think I've only done one other one with this, so I'm going to change it up a little bit from what I have here, but we're going to just walk through all of this together. I'll have it on my blog, so all the measurements and things will be there, as well as the products that I've used. And I think that's about it, and so let's just get started. Move this out of the way, and I've got just a card base, just a basic white card base. I usually don't do something so simple, but it's not completely simple, so I just can't do simple. All right, so I die cut out the drill. I had to think about my stuff. That's just Daffodil Delight, and then it has the little drill bit end piece. There's something about a chuck. I don't remember what that is. All right, I did that in the basic black. Okay, I thought this was way too plain, so I'm going to work on that just a little bit. I also used the silver paper, which has recently come back, and I cut it, and then I'm going to just trim it, probably just trim it a little bit. I just cut just the end of it, and I'm going to trim it right on this line right there with my snips, like so. All right, and then it's ready, and I'm just going to glue that on top of there. And what else? I think we'll just start with working on the drill first. So let me grab a piece of scratch paper. It looks like I've got, I'll turn it to the metric side because I'm going to do some coloring and stuff, and I don't want it to bleed through. I'm going to be using the Stampin' Blends. All right, so what I did was I took the darker of the Daffodil Delight, and I just tried to do some kind of highlighting or whatever. So I'm going to color in these little guys, and it starts out dark, but it'll fade in a little bit. So I'm going to do those. I think I'll make a line right there near that, and then I'm going to go near this little squiggly thing too. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to be staring at it. And I think I colored in this little guy. Okay, and that was all with the Daffodil Delight. I believe it was the dark. It was. All right, and then what I'm going to do is, let's see, I was going to use a black marker, just a not a Stampin' Blend, but the Stampin' Write marker. And I think, let's see, you grab it, and we're going to do just a little bit more with that part. Okay, what I'm going to do is, basically where the little divots are, where the die kind of almost cuts it out, I'm just going to go over with my black Stampin' Write marker. I'm just kind of drawing on top of those lines, and it just helps, I don't know, bring out the just little aspects of the drill, because without it, it's very plain, and we are doing a lot of coloring and making the other pieces stand out. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, the little triggery thing, I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to turn it over to the brush side, and we're just going to make the little push button trigger thing. You can tell that I am not a tool person. Anyway, so then that is that. I'm not going to worry about the bottom pieces because that's going to be tucked in, so that doesn't matter. So let's get these guys together, and I think I'll just put some of the Tombow liquid glue, and that is what is in this bottle, and it's I love the glue, but I also like for it to be a little bit thinner than the glue bottle comes, and so those are cool bottles, and you can find those on my blog under my favorites. Okay, and then we're just going to put a little bit of glue and kind of get that on there. I am thinking that we should have cut that a little bit more, just a wee bit. Let's see if I can still get my scissors in there. I think I'm going to cut it just a little bit more. Oh, I got some rug fuzz on my scissors. Let's see if I like that better. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay, so then I'm going to put just a itty bit of glue right here, because I want just the end to barely go on there. So we'll just fit that together. I want to line it up almost to that very first from this side. I'll line and give it a good press. So now our drill is ready. Looking good. All right, now we're going to color some. I stamped the hammer and the crescent wrench, and it's on smoky slate, and I stamped it. I actually stamped it on with Stays On, and not a good idea. You should use the Memento instead. All right, so I'm going to take, first of all, the smoky slate Stampin' Blends. I'm going to start with the light one and kind of color most of it with the light one. Okay, and it's a good idea on these small areas to use the bullet point and not the brush tip. And it's very easy to smush the brush tip, so you don't want that to happen. I have several blends that are damaged from people putting too much pressure. It is just a light touch for really the bullet and definitely the brush tip. All right, and so I'm going to just go all around that. And I think I'll do that, but I'm going to go back with a darker one. That's the cool thing about the blends. All right, so now the different parts where, and I think I'm just going to actually go through this whole centerpiece with this, but where there's lines, where the designer made kind of shadowy lines, you can use that to just draw back over with your blends, and it's really cool. Does a great job. So like so, and I'm kind of probably adding just a wee bit more there. I think I'm going to do that one dark as well, and so a lot of it's not going to show up because it's going to be, and I'm going to go back over this with the dark. Oh, kind of went out of the lines. Hopefully that'll be not show up. And all right, so now that's pretty much your crescent wrench. Go back to the light, and we're going to do the hammer. Okay, and there again I'm using the bullet point. I believe I went out of the lines again. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's a little bit harder to color when you're not able to have your head a little bit closer. I'll use that as my excuse this time. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then the handle I'm going to actually make brown like it was wood. My hammer that I have is colored like that. All right, now we're going to go back with the darker one, and like I said, where those lines are, you want to use your darker blend. Okay, and I'm actually going to just add just a wee bit more. Okay, in some other spots. Okay, and let's give this a little bit of a, there we go, like that. All right, that's looking good. And now we'll go to the brown, and I used pecan pie. Same thing, and I'm going to use the lighter first and give it a wooden handle. It's fun that the blends work on other colors, other cardstock. besides just the basic white. So, and then I'll go again. I've got the darker one this time in the pecan pie, and I'm just kind of following those dark lines. I'm going to give just a little bit more, like here on the edges. All right, and unfortunately, most of the hammer, the bottom of the hammer is going to be hidden, but that's okay. All right, so let's get those. Now we've got some of our tools going. We got those 3. And then we need, there's a really cool die in there that gives you the pegboard, and I don't think I have all of my little pieces popped out. And did I get them all? I think they are. And on my original one, I just left it blank, so it just shows the white beneath it. And I decided that I wasn't really a fan. So because something behind is going to be a little bit darker. I tried the pecan pie and I thought it was a little bit, it just wasn't quite right. And so I'm going to use a piece of the early espresso that's just a smidge. Now don't ask me what a smidge is, but because it's tiny, 1/32 or something smaller than the piece of crumb cake that I cut out and then die cut with the pegboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to use my skinny glue again, and I'm going to just put some glue, kind of go along the edge. And it doesn't have to be everywhere, but I'm going to try the edge, a little bit of edge, and then kind of go in between some of the circles here and there, like so, so that you get a little bit of glue everywhere. And the Tombow liquid glue is a very strong adhesive, so it's a great adhesive. And it gives you just a little bit of time before it dries. So I think I'm going to do it this way. All right, dun, 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 like that. So none of that is going to show. You could let it show, but anyway, so that's your pegboard. And I'll hold it up against something white so that you can see. I think that just looks, I don't know, I like the look better. All right, the next thing we're going to do, so we've got all these set and ready to go, is I took Real Red, and this is the bottom of the box of the toolbox, and the holes, I thought, well, I don't know, I think I'm going to use silver, and like that would be the nuts or bolts or whatever is what I was thinking. So I cut out pieces of the silver, and I'm just delighted that the silver paper is back now. It was gone for quite some time. So, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of glue in between and see if I can get a little bit there. Same thing on this side, and we'll put our silver little strips, and I'll put those dimensions on the blog, and they should be just a smidge shorter so it doesn't show. And then this one here. So I just love, I'm all about just all the little extras. So that's kind of cool how that works. So now we've got that and that. What else are we missing? Maybe nothing. We might be able to go ahead and put this part together. So I've got that. I've got my handle too, and I cut that out in early espresso. So let's put the pegboard on first. So I don't have to use my thin for this one, but might as well. I have it out. And then I'm going to kind of just center it and put it up. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and then this is going to actually go up on some dimensionals so that we can kind of tuck our little guys in there. And I'm going to use some regular, I'm going to use 2 on either end, okay, of the bottom of our toolbox. Okay. I also have the really cool designer series paper that was a celebration gift with purchase from the most recent celebration that also has the toolbox stuff. Really cool. All right, but I didn't, most people may not have that, so I wanted to just use the products from the regular bundle for this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the handle down, and I'm gonna just pretty much line it up. Let's see, get my head in there. Okay, like so. It's on there. Let's see, I'm gonna line it up with that. Okay, so now, and then you've got a little bit of room, and we'll be able to arrange our drill and our hammer. Okay, we don't want them coming out the bottom of the toolbox, and so we just got to figure out kind of where we would like them to go. So probably about like that. And then what I did was I took mini dimensionals and I put some underneath the hammer. Okay. I think I'll do one on the neck of the hammer. So I've got just those dimensionals. Pull those off, and that way it kind of will stand up. Then I'll go back through, get my drill to cooperate, and no, it's not going to cooperate. That's okay. All right, let's see, get my hammer about where I think I want it. I think that's good. See, just a tiny bit of that right there. All right, now it's time for the drill. And again, I'll use some dimensionals. I'll put a little one there. We could probably use a couple of big ones. Let's do 2 big ones here. Okay, and the bottom part doesn't really matter because this is plenty to secure it. All right, and then kind of get it, what do you think? Right about there, looks good. And the same with the crescent wrench. And I'll just put a couple here. Maybe one more right there. Pull the backs off. And then we'll be almost ready to move on to the center. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So now we have all of that. And the only thing we need is the sentiment. Let me see if I can figure out. Oh, there it is underneath the markers. And I did "You're the Best," and it came from the translucent florals, I believe. Now I'm beginning to wonder if I think that's, I'm pretty sure it's still available, that it didn't retire. All right, so I tried other ones, but that's what I like the best. I may end up I've looked into putting like something so it looks like a bench or a table, so the thing's not just kind of floating in the air. But there is that part. Now, on the inside, what I decided to do was I did Happy Father's Day, and I stamped that. That comes from this set. Everything except for the "You're the Best" comes from this set. And I stamped it in Night of Navy and onto crumb cake. And on this piece, I stamped it in red, again, a stamp from that set, and onto the new Basic Beige. And then I ran it through the Timber 3D folder, which I thought was a fun touch. And then the tape measurer, I did the same thing as I did with the other tools, and I colored it with Daffodil Delight, the dark Daffodil Delight, the dark Real Red, and the light Cherry Cobbler. And this again is the smoky slate there. It was the first time I realized that these little guys do not match up. The stamps and the dies do not match up. So close, so close. But these are reversed, the little washer and the, is it a nut? No, I don't know what it is. It's the little screw nut bolt thing. But anyway, I ended up cutting those out of basic gray, and of course having to use my little bitty glue to glue them down. I tried at first just stamping with them, and it was okay, but I liked this look better. So that is it. And this, I had it bigger at one time, and it just took up a lot of space, and the front has a lot of white, so I thought it needed to also have a lot of white. And then I was going to, I would do just a little, just a touch of red. So let's see, let me see if this happens to be working, and I'll just, if it is, I have to, yep, there, very good. Okay, so a little bit quicker to do some of the regular Tombow glue, and then I'm gonna put this on here with just a tiny border all the way around with the red, just to kind of tie that together. And then we will put that on the card. Whoops, it just slipped because I put a little bit too much there. All right, and then we'll put that on, and then I think our card will be done. And that's just a fun, didn't take too long, and if you like to color, that's a fun thing. And you, honestly, you wouldn't have to color it, just gives it a different look. All right, and we'll set that down, center that, and there you have it. So there's the front of the card, and inside. And you, if you don't have a dad that's living right now, then you could certainly just say Happy Father's Day. You could change, you could use different letters, and you could say, you know, brother, uncle, son, whatever, or just leave it at just Happy Father's Day, and that would work as well. So there's different stamps that have the, I have to look them up, but have the letters, and that would be something that you could do. And again, I just thought it was kind of fun to make this look like a piece of wood, just to add just a little bit, just those little extras. I love the extras. So that is the Father's Day card. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope that you will come back and watch other videos that I've created, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already, and check out the blog. There's lots to see there, and again, that's where the measurements and things will be. So, and I would just, I'd love to have you follow me on all my social media posts. So we will hopefully see you soon in the treehouse. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.